this video, I'm going to do things a little bit different. Normally I would show you the materials, and then I would show a video of me tying a fly and doing a voiceover explaining what I'm doing. On this one, I'm just going to do it, unedited, unpolished, because I've never tied this fly before. And my channel is meant for those that are, like me, that are newer to fly fishing and fly tying. And so I wanted to show, the goods and bads, what worked and what didn't work, as I try and tie this, and so that people can see it and learn from it. So what am I tying today? I'm tying the Buford Fly. This is meant for muskie. I've never been muskie fishing before, but here in September, I plan to go to. There's a couple locations. Still trying to decide which one I'm going to go to, and do some muskie fishing, both with a spin cast, and I'll be buying some lures for that. But then I'm also going to tie up a couple of these Buford flies. So the instructions that I'm learning from is from Musky Fools. And in the description of the video and stuff, I'll link to their video, because that's the one where I got the materials and the instructions, which I have written here. So I didn't buy the materials from them. I shopped around and everything, and I went with Not Only Trout, Spencer with Not Only Trout. And in the description stuff is a link to his Twitter, his YouTube channel, and his store. So he was able to track down these items, and they're not exactly what Musky Fools has as their materials, but I believe that they'll work. So we'll start off with Musky Fools. For the thread, they're using a Vivus GSP thread, 150 denier in black. For the hook, it's an Arex TP610 Trout Predator straight 6/0. For the bucktail, it's a Musky Fools bucktail, A-grade bucktail, pink Wisco flame. The feathers is a Whiting Farms Schlappen 6 to 10 inch in pink. For the tail feathers, a Hairline Barred Flashaboo Magnum, fluorescent pink black. And then for a body flash, the Hairline Crystal Flash Fluorescent Cerise. And so that's what they have. And so here's the box. I still haven't opened it yet, from Not Only Trout. So we'll cut into this. Okay, so in here, air package. So this is a Semperfly Nano Silk 100 denier. So I've got that as the thread. I'll put that on the bobbin in a second. Then I do have a Grizzly variant Schlappen fluorescent hot pink. And Nature Spirit is the brand. Then I have a Flashaboo Magnum. Then I have a Crystal Flash, and this one more pink than it's kind of looking on the camera there. So there's that Crystal Flash. Then the hooks are a Partridge Predator Series Universal Predator X 6/0, and I have 10 of those. And then a Nature Spirit Waspy Fly Medium Select Bucktail. So we got all the materials there. Yep, and then the list of all the items there. So got those. And I was originally going to do this as a live stream. So that over there. but wasn't able to do that because YouTube requires, there we go, YouTube requires you to have 50 subscribers. So, and currently at the time of recording this, I only have 17. So, by all means, if you're seeing this, please like and subscribe so that I can hopefully grow the channel. I've got lots of fun stuff coming up. I've got interviews planned with different people. I've got a lot more tying videos when it gets closer to deer season here in Missouri. I'll do some hunting videos. Okay, so there we go. Not going anywhere. So, and I planned to tie. Actually, this is there. I plan to tie a couple of these. Not today on this and stuff. I'm just going to tie one. But it should get easier as time goes on, as I tie more of them. But I plan to tie a couple of them before I go fishing. Like I said, there's a couple of places that I'm planning to go. Missouri's not known as a musky state or a place to go to do musky fishing, but we do have muskie. And it wasn't too long ago when I actually learned that. The places that I know of that we may be going to, just trying to organize everything. That I may be going to, there is August A. Bush Conservation Area. That's in St. Charles, Missouri. So that's one of them. Then there is Pomme de Terre State Park. At the moment, I forget where that one is in Missouri. But yeah, they're there as well. Yeah, so there's August A. Bush, Pomme de Terre. There's Hazel Creek Lake up in Kirksville in northern Missouri. Then Henry Seaver Lake, and I can't remember the town that's in. That's in northern Missouri. And then there's another one. Yeah, I cannot remember. So there's a couple of different options. And like I said, I've never been to any of those, and I've never been to any of those for musky fishing. So it'll be a fun experience, and I hope that I can make a video out of that as well. So a friend and I should be going. So, okay, so like I said, I have the instructions wrote down. So, I'm going to wrap the thread around to the bend of the hook. Cut away the excess there. And so now they're, for the bucktail and stuff, we're going to put that at the end. It did not, or on the video that I saw of Musky Fools and stuff, it didn't explain which part of the tail to take from, because there's the end piece, there's the middle, and then the beginning, or the tip of the tail, the middle, and the beginning. And each one of those have different lengths and can be used for different flies. So for this one, I'm going to guess, because I want it sort of longer off the end, that I'm going to do probably a sprig like that. And that's what it looked like. Actually, some larger scissors. Then you want to get all the under fluff, under hair, under fur out of there, which, if you saved up enough of that, and this is any bucktail, if you saved up enough of that and stuff, you can actually use that as dubbing. So there's not too much of it there. You can also use a hair stacker. If you wanted to, for this, I don't need to. Okay, so got that, and for that, I think that all this was left on. But I think it was shorter, so I'm going to trim that up just on this first one, because we're going to add the bucktail. A couple of times. So, and again, this is the first time, like I said, that I'm tying it, and I'm tying it off of a video, that somebody else did and stuff. And on the particular one I saw, it was sped up and there was music playing. There's no voiceover. They may have a lengthier video on those, but I hadn't found that one. So I'm sure that I'm going to make mistakes on this, but that's why I'm doing this video with the mistakes intact, so that I can learn. I can show you guys what I went through. You guys can learn as well. So for this, next will be the Schlappen feathers. And so, okay, these two are pretty close to the same. And so, a couple of times around there, and it's on this side, and then a couple of times wrapping around on this side. Okay, so then those are come off there, and then trim those. Okay, so then the barred flashaboo, then will go on top of the bucktail, and it will swivel around. I don't know if the little sprigs and stuff, I don't know if that matters or not. trimming a little more of that bucktail. If I can get that one piece. There we go. Okay, so got all that. So now, and so for this, it was like in the video 5 pieces or so. And on this, I don't remember that they flipped this over as well, but I don't think it would hurt to have a couple of these. A couple more of these. So, you know, they were using 5 strands. I don't know how far back that went. I'll do it roughly the same as the schlappen, so cut those. I'll leave these extra pieces there, because I'm sure probably could use those on the next one. So there's all that. And then, so yeah, the barred flash blue on the top, and then now more bucktail, and it will be 365 degrees around the hook, versus the first one that was just tied on top. So do about the same stack as before, which actually I should have moved the and the thread snapped. So set the bucktail right there and try and pull this thread through before that comes undone. So try and go over that thread. So try and tie down the thread there. So that it can't fray. And I know that they didn't do this in any other video, the Musky Fools, but I'm going to add just a little bit of Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. I use theirs, you know, in previous videos as a sealant. The fly fishing organization that I'm part of, they use that as well. Just sort of as a end sealant to help hold it on there, or help hold a fly together more. So, okay, so I'm gonna loop it around, pull a little bit, loop it around again, and with my fingers I'm just going to try and 360 degree around there. I'm going to pull it tighter there's all that. And so there's that, and now two more schlappen feathers. And so we'll do these. I'm going to pull that off so there's not as much this lighter feather there. I'm not actually sure what the fluffier part is called. I may have learned that, but I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. About there. And I'm going to tighten this around there. Okay, so let's cut off the feather stem. Okay. And a lot of these fluff feathers and stuff are coming off anyway. There we go. Okay, so now I got that one. And so now the crystal flash. And that'll be 360 degrees around the hook. And I didn't see on that one how many pieces, but I believe this is the only part where I add, no, there's another part where I'll add crystal flash. So I'm going to get, what do we got there? 5, 6 pieces there. And they're kind of tangling, so we'll need to get that figured out. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on my lap. And kind of just destroyed that strand. Kind of destroying it all because it's all tangling together. Well, I'm going to give up on that, and I guess I haven't had Crystal Flash do this. Okay, so there's straighter piece number 3. And number 4. Number 5. number 6. Okay. So with this, loop it around just once there. Loop it around again. And try and move the pieces. Try and do it all the way around. So now they are all around, because I am on the bottom and the top. So as I get closer to the end, or as I get done with it and stuff, I will then probably trim those shorter, and then make them probably longer than the schlappen or the bucktail that they're around. Okay, so do something there. Okay, so the schlappen, crystal flash, then another bucktail, schlappen, crystal flash, and bucktail. So okay, so we're going to do the same clump there. Get all those smaller loose pieces out that are only going to cause problems if they're tied in there. Oh. And once again, I forgot, need to there, then set that. You'll see in videos people have little hair clips, and that would be handy right now. Help hold back that crystal flash that keeps wrapping around the bobbin. Okay, so again with my fingers, it's 360 degrees. Move that, and the hook got me. Move the crystal flash out of the way. Pull tight. After a couple reps, pull tight. Wrap, pull tight. Okay. So now I'm not bleeding, so that's good. Okay, so another schlappen feather. So here's these two. More so pulling away the little under feathers for just so it's easier to work with. And usually you never want to cut on bottom of the hook, because of course that's where your thread is. that away. Careful with my finger there. Okay, and then okay, so this is starting to slide a little bit. So I want to make sure that I'm using, and the thread snapped. Go around that enough. To again hold it well enough. That the thread doesn't unravel. I don't want that little feather going down into that, so remove that there. So, okay. So, and now the crystal flash again. So, I'm going to do the same thing as before. Let's do 5 strands. This stuff just swivels upon itself. Set that there. Okay, 2 wraps around, and then try and maneuver those to 360 degree it. Or at least fan it out. And that is quite tangled. Oh, there they are. Yeah. Just cutting that loose stuff out. Or the tangled part I'm cutting out. Okay, so there's that. So now after the crystal flash, and that's the second time. Now it'll do another bucktail. And again, I'm using the same size of the bucktail. So let's move this forward. I think we're about there. Then loop it around. Move that crystal flash out of the way. Down, loop, loop, pull it down, loop, loop. And it's still loose enough I can .360 it there. Okay. Loop, loop, tighten it down. Okay, so now they had a tool, the Musky Fools had a tool that used to push these fibers back. Because then, yeah, because so what I have is a pen, or half of a pen. So and I'm sure maybe there's perks to actually using a tool meant for that, but this pen works just as well. So I'm going to wrap it a few times in front of that. Can't remember if they did or not. And then they trimmed these stems. I call them stems, but you can see what I'm doing. And then, so then they used the brown hair on the bucktail. And so for on this one, they actually cut enough of it to, so the hairs are like this, tips are over here, and then I'm going to push it onto that, wrap it around, and then it's going to flare up. As I twist it and stuff, it's going to pull it around the whole head of the fly. So, and I don't see that on the back side. I don't see that there's a length difference for the hair. And so I'm going to try. It seemed like this was a larger clump. So I'm going to cut it as down as I can. And I like seeing where flies will use the brown part, or the undyed hair in the flies, because obviously, you know, any of your materials, you want to do as much as you can with it. You don't want to have it go to waste or throw it away. Okay, so I'm going to trim this down even more. And avoid cutting my thread hanging there. That's definitely more frustrating to lose your thread. Okay, so I know I have a brush, but I can't think of where it is. So anyway, they tried, like I said, whoop. Pull it there, have that. Okay, now take all his hair and I'm going to feed it backwards on top of this, trying to hold it all. Okay, now I'm going to try and pull down. Losing a little bit of it. And I'm not sure what I did different because this did not spiral into a head. And I know I've had that done, or I've done that with other flies. So I'm not sure. So I'm going to kind of take out some of these fibers, and then I'm going to do this. So again, get that crystal flash out of the way. I don't know if, no, that's not going to work. I thought if I could go through it, through the fibers, it would make them stand up more, which I know has worked before, but it did not appear to be working with that, or it appeared that it wouldn't work with that. So I know I'm using a lot of thread, but the hope is that this is going to create a thread dam, which is used in other flies. So that did kind of do it. So not as well as I was hoping. And then, yeah, of course they did a whip finish. But as I've said in other videos, I have done a whip finish, but I also struggle very much to get it to work, even though I could do it successfully. I could watch a YouTube video on how to do it. and then try it again, and it's just like it doesn't work. So I don't know why. So I'm doing several half hitches, and then of course they didn't glue or sealant the front of this, but I'm going to. I want to make sure this holds. Okay, so now I've added that sealant to it. So now I'm probably just going to use these just because they will probably do an easier job, and I'm just going to try to make a circle sort of around the head of the fly. And, okay, this goes back as far as the schlappen. Get these things out of here. Well, that's a straight here. Okay. As far as I can tell, and of course stuff may change underwater. I know I got this brush, but this isn't meant for the hair. I mean, it can get fibers out and stuff. It's actually just a Velcro strip on a little piece of wood. More so meant for like dubbing. You can get sort of a buggy look, as mainly outdoors would say. So, well, best I can tell, there it is. So I like it. I don't know how it'll perform. I know that you all, in the comments and stuff may have advice or, things I could have changed. As long as it's, constructive criticism, I'm happy to hear it. So, like I said, I've never been musky fishing before. The lures I plan to get and stuff would be like a spinner, and then I forget what it's even called and stuff. Looks like a fish, swirly tail at the end. So I was going to get both those, so I'd have different lures, and then tie up a couple of these, see how it goes. Whether or not whether or not it works, it'll be a fun experience. And it definitely is an awesome experience when you catch a fish on a fly that you made yourself. It's a really cool feeling, and so it'll be neat if I catch a muskie on this and stuff. Like I said, I hope to make a video out of that trip, and I'll put it on here, so you all can see, and whether I catch anything or not. It'll be a fun trip to document. But yeah, I'll tie up a couple more of these, and of course any fly that you tie, it's going to get easier the more that you do. Me working with all those, these different materials and stuff, seeing how they work, seeing how it all comes together and stuff. Obviously the second one I'm going to improve. Third one will be even better. So, but yeah, I think it looks cool, and I'm ready to try it out and see how it does. So, I thank you guys for watching. And again, please like and subscribe to my channel.